it's Breyonna. So today we're going to be doing another look using the Gemini palettes from NYX Cosmetics, and oh my gosh, like I asked you guys in my original review, and if you'd like to check that out, I'll have a link in the description box down below for you, but I asked if you guys wanted to see another look using the Gemini 2 palette and exploring the greens, and you guys were like, we need to see them. I mean, oh, they're so pretty. They kind of have like this olivey, kind of almost like wilted rose kind of vibe to them. I don't know, like they're just very different and like grungy, smoky. I don't know, like I just need them on my eyes. And also we are going to be going in with the Gemini palette, the OG, on the other eye because I've been really into two-tone looks and I kind of want to explore, you know, maybe like these brownish shades. I haven't used these in a hot minute. And as always, grab yourself a drink or a snack. And before we jump into it, if you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below and also give this video a like. And if you'd like to check me out over on Instagram or TikTok, it's at Breyonna Faye as well. So off camera, I just primed my eyes using my ABH eye primer, but I first want to go in with Almond Eyes, which is the most green matte shade on the palette. I'm going to be taking it on this brush from Blend Bunny. This is a B5. Oh my gosh, like right away, like that is really intense. It's also very like rich. It's actually applying a little bit deeper than I thought it was going to right off the bat. But again, I'm just popping it in that crease and then blending it upwards. And then let's go in with a second layer. It seems like this shade though is like really like adhering to my eye primer. Like it's really just like grabbing onto it. Not that I have to build it up because I want it to be more intense. It's just like I need more pigment on my brush because it's sticking so well to the primer. But even though it's like sticking to it, it's not giving me like that chunkiness kind of vibe, if you know what I mean. You can see like it's really, really nice so far. So if you don't like building up your shades, you're gonna really like this one. So I'm gonna deepen up the crease just like a tiny bit using Boy Mom, which is like this brownish green kind of shade. I'm gonna take it on this Blend Bunny B1 brush. And again, I'm popping it in that crease and really like blending it upwards. And whoo, that, honestly, like this is applying a lot deeper than I thought it was going to as well. Like it almost is like giving it like this blackened, kind of like smoky eye kind of vibe. Like I thought it was gonna add a lot of brown to the look. This is a very deep brown when applied. And again, I'm just popping it in the crease and then blending it upwards. Like it almost looks like I went in with Bonnie out of the OG Gemini palette. But do you see what I mean though? Like it almost gives it like this blackened like richness. Again, like Gemini 2 is just one of those palettes, like it can get really smoky, just like with the OG. Like you can do some soft looks with it, but you can definitely like get like that grungy look if you want as well. But again, like this deeper shade is beautiful. Like it is blending out like a dream. You can see it's not giving me chunkiness or patchiness. I literally just popped it in the crease, did a couple of circles, and it was ready to go. Like I did not have to fuss with it. Because again, like sometimes like darker shades, it can be a nightmare. But so far these ones are acting really nice. And I'm just gonna go back in with that brush that we applied the green with no additional product on it. And then I'm just running it around the edge of Boy Mom. But you can see, like when I tilt my head, it is giving me a flawless blend. So now for the OG Gemini side, I'm first gonna go in with Cupcake, which is kind of like the deepest brown in this palette. I'm just gonna be taking this on an Anastasia A10, and oh, that is so pigmented. Seriously, this is one of my all-time favorite palettes in my collection. It's so good. So anytime I get an excuse to use it, I'm always gonna do it. But originally, I was planning on doing a different kind of eye look, but with the Gemini 2 palette getting so smoky, I just want to match the depth on the other side. So I think this Cupcake option is going to be like the perfect first shade to go in with. And I'm just going in again with that second layer, and then buffing it upwards. Again, this is one of those palettes, like, you literally pop it down, do a couple circles, and you are ready to go. Like, don't get me wrong, like, sometimes I find it very therapeutic to blend out my eyeshadow, but sometimes I got places to be and people to see, and I just don't want to take a lot of time to do it. And then I'm just gonna kind of, like, wing it out on this outer edge using whatever's left on my brush. Now, I'm gonna warn you, this Bonnie shade is one of the best matte blacks in my collection. Like, it is hands down like creme de la creme. And I'm taking it on this Blend Bunny B4 brush, like this small little blending brush. Like, you wanna use a tiny brush when using this one in the crease, because again, a little goes a long way. I'm also doing the less is more approach because I don't want it to overpower the brown. I haven't used this shade in a hot minute. So good. Like, it's hard to find a nice matte black that gives you like that dark matte black smoky eye without being like patchy and chunky and like wearing off weird throughout the day. This one does not do that. That's why it's my favorite. But do you see like how it's blending out? Like it is not chalky, patchy, none of that. Like it has such a beautiful formula. And if you're a beginner, this shade is not gonna give you any problems. And again, just like with the Gemini 2 palette side, I'm just gonna go back in with that brush that we applied Cupcake, that kind of like chocolatey brown shade. No additional on it, and I'm just gonna buff it around the edge. So normally I would go in and cut my crease, but I want to do something like a little bit different today, so we're just gonna go right in with Mateo, which again is the Greenest Shimmer shade. So let's see how it applies dry. Okay, honestly, I ain't vibing with that. Like right off the bat, like it is not shimmery on the first layer, so we're just gonna go in with a second layer. Yeah, like this is like one of those like wearable wet sheen shimmers that just doesn't have a lot of oomph to it. I don't know if you can see, but it almost applies more like a satin. I'm gonna use my finger so you can see a little better. You can see like putting it on my finger, like it has like that. And again, I'm applying this dry, not down, just to see what is up. It doesn't have a lot of pizzazz to it. So if you like really extra shimmers, you probably won't like this one. And also, for some odd reason, applying with a brush, it just did not want to stick. So I don't know what is up with that, because again, I'm not having problems applying it with my finger, but if you want more precision, you might have a problem with this shade because of it. But like as a shimmer though, like it's not bad. Like again, I have to apply it with my finger, but it's very pigmented. Like I'm not having to layer it up. You can see it has like a really pretty sheen. It's also blending into the mattes easily. Like I'm not having to go in with another brush to blend out the edge. It's just, I wish it was personally like a little bit more sparkly. So for the OG side, we're just gonna go in with the shimmer shade called Gemini. And again, I am not applying this dampened. I'm just gonna go in with a dry. Ooh. See, I always cut my crease with this palette when I use it too. You can kind of see it, like it's just not adhering to my eye primer that well with this brush. Maybe these shimmers just don't work with these brushes like this. I'm not sure. Oh yeah, it's applying a lot better with my finger. It might look a little bit weird though, because again, you know, like this side, like the shimmer is smoky, whereas this palette doesn't really have a smoky shimmer. So it's gonna be kind of like light on the eye, which I guess we're just gonna have to work with. I'm just lightly layering it up. Again, this is one of those more like wearable kind of shimmers as well. I don't normally go in with this shade. I usually only go in with the green one. And then I might use this one like in the inner part, just because I'm not like the biggest fan of gold. Again, it's a really pretty shade. It's just a little bit finicky to work with. I don't ever remember it acting like this though. But again, you can kind of see like it's giving me a little bit of fallout right here, and it's just a little bit dusty with the formula. Again, with the shimmers out of both of these, I would definitely recommend doing your eyes first and then your face, just so it's a little bit easier to clean up. I feel like we need a smoky lower lash line with this look, so I'm gonna go in with this e.l.f. No Budge Retractable Eyeliner in the shade Black. I actually really like this to tightline. I think it's very slept on. But I'm going to put it in my waterline first. And then slightly bringing it into where my lashes grow up. You don't want to go like too far with this, because otherwise you might look like a panda when it's blended out. So less is more, because you can always add more, but you can't necessarily take it away. But the key is that you don't want to do the other eye before finishing the one that you started. So now I'm just going to blend it out right away using this brush from Blend Bunny. This is a B3. You also want to make sure that you're connecting this to the wing out here, because otherwise you're gonna get this weird ass dip and it's gonna look really weird from the side. So what I like to do is just blend it out, go in with a little bit more, and then buff it out again. But again, I like to do this a little bit different, so I'm going to go in with Boy Mom again with that same brush, and I am pressing it on top of the eyeliner. But you just want to make sure that you're not bringing it down too far. You want to bring it down about halfway to where you actually want to blend it down. So I'm going to go in with a different brush with Almond Eyes. This is a Morphe M507. And then I'm going to smoke it down. And you guessed it, we're going to do the exact same on the other eye. Now how I like to do the lower lash line, like how I know like when to use like a black or a brown, is I do the same color as I do my wing. So if I did a brown wing liner, then I would smoke down brown eyeliner. just to help kind of give it a little bit more of a cohesive look. And then I'm just going to buff it out using this brush again from Blend Bunny. It's a different one though. This one's a B2. It's like a small little blending brush. Now, knowing that Bonnie, the matte black in here, is insanely pigmented, I am actually just going to go right in with Cupcake. That brown that we used instead. Because the matte black, right off the bat, is going to overpower. I've done it before. I just know better. So, unfortunately, neither of these palettes have like a bright inner corner highlight that's like super sparkly. So, I'm just going to go in with one of my favorite highlighting palettes. This is the Sugar Glow Kit from ABH. And I'm going to go in with Marshmallow. The reason I'm going in with this one is I want to play up the gold on the OG Gemini side. You can also go in with something more icy if you're just doing the green side. It'll actually go really well with it. But I'm just taking it on this little tiny pencil brush from Anastasia, and this is an A14. Oh yeah, you see that? Like, it looks so cool. And then I'm just kind of like taking my finger and like lightly buffing the edge. And I'm also just kind of taking whatever is left and feathering it into the shimmer on the lid. But you can see like the inner corner highlight really kind of like brought everything together. I don't know what it is about a dark smoky eye like this, but man, like the chokehold it has on me, just, I need to start doing these more because I have not done a dark smoky eye like this in a hot minute, and man, am I obsessed with how it turned out. But in the comments though, let me know which side is your favorite. For me personally, I love these greens so much. Like they're just so smoky, edgy, and just so cool looking. So this is my favorite side, but let me know which one you like more. I'm just saying the more that I use Gemini 2, the more I fall in love with this palette. Like, I don't know what it is about it, but the mattes in here are just beautiful and so easy to work with. They're not like a pain where I have to sit there and buff them out for like 10 years to get them where I want them to be. And it's just such an interesting color story. Like, I just absolutely love the whole vibe of it. Now, the shimmers in here, I wish that they were a little bit more sparkly because, again, I really love my Smoke Sessions palette, and the shimmers in that palette are insane. And these ones, though, are a little bit more of like a wearable wet sheen compared to the glittery vibes of that palette. But again, like there's just something so cool about this one that just really keeps on drawing me in to play with. And you know how I feel about the OG Gemini palette? Like, man, like the chokehold that this palette has on me, like, oh, like it is so amazing. Again, like the mattes in here, pigmented, easy to work with, beginner friendly. Even the matte black in here is amazing and just very easy to use. Now, the only thing is like this Gemini shimmer shade, not a fan with how I used it today. I don't know what is up with it today because I don't ever remember it acting that way. I don't know if it's because it just needs like a light color tacky primer underneath just to really make it pop, or what happened, because again, I don't ever remember it acting like that and like dusting off the eye. But keep in mind, it's not really a shade that I gravitate towards out of this palette. Like if I'm gonna use the OG Gemini, I usually tend to use like the greens in here, the matte black, this yellowish shade, and Cupcake. I don't use the other ones in here unless I'm going for something specific, because again, if I'm gonna use this, it's like a specific kind of look I want to do. But I don't know, like the Gemini shade just kind of caught me off guard a little bit. Again, the mattes in here were amazing, but this one right here, just kind of a dud. Now let me know if you'd like to see more looks using Gemini 2, because I really want to play with the lighter mattes in it and maybe do like a soft, like romantic, whimsical, like blushy kind of moment. I don't know. I have like an idea in my head, and let me know if you'd like to see it or not. But before you go though, if you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below and also give this video a like. And if you'd like to check me out over on Instagram or TikTok, it's at Breyonna as well. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!